Hello everyone, so I'm PerilousPeanut, and this is going to be the first video in a series that I plan to do on Rayman Legends Any%. I'm going to do a few tutorials for individual levels for the Any% category in this game. I plan to do every single level in the game eventually, but right now I'm only going to cover what I think are the hardest levels in the entire run. So, just a couple things first. I have my Xbox 360 controller input display on the left, or the right, I don't know, where I put it in OBS. I apologize if it's crappy. Gamepad viewer doesn't work, and I don't have Xpadder, so this is what I have to work with. So, without further ado, we're going to go into our first level, or the first level that I'm going to do a tutorial for anyway, which is 5-1 Shield Up and Down. Now, I'm going to do an optimal run-through of this stage, where I'm going to try to anyway, before I start to explain how you do this, step by step. So first off, let's restart the stage. Oops. I'm just going to do this opening normal. There's a strat that I could have done there, but it's not exactly consistent. Right. So, while you're watching this, I recommend you pay attention to my inputs, because I'm making this tutorial under the assumption that you know how the basic mechanics of this game work. I assume you've watched DJ Fed's videos on the movement tutorial in this game, which he has been releasing lately. And so I trust that you have like a basic understanding of how to move around quickly in this game. And then I'm going to explain how to do everything else later when I'm finished here. This is a solid run through so far. If I mess anything up, it'll just be a good opportunity to point out what to do when you do mess things up, because this is Rayman Legends. You're almost certainly going to mess something up like that. There you go. You always have to know how to deal with those situations, unfortunately. So yeah, I apologize for that death. That was a horrible heart loss. But whatever. I'm gonna see if I can pull off the strat. If not, I'll, oops. Thought so. Whatever, I didn't get that strat, but I'll finish the level anyways to show how the rest of it goes, and then I'm gonna do the full tutorial on how to supposedly do this level optimally that I failed miserably in front of you. Okay, that's good. That ending was a bit sloppy, but whatever. Alright, so that's the level. Now let's break it down step by step. So you're gonna spawn over here, and when you spawn, this purple asshole is gonna be walking towards your left. And there are several strats that you can do here. You can attempt to do a skid boost here, but it's not going to work. You're not going to get any speed, pretty much. What you can do is you can jump over this guy, do a YBY, spin off those things, maybe jump off the top of those guys and spin on these things. And then you'll hit the Murphy trigger and everything is fine and dandy. However, there are a few strats that you can do. For example, here, right next to this guy in the middle of this tree here, is some flat ground that you can use to get a somewhat quick skid boost. It's not guaranteed, because, you know, brake boosts are not exactly consistent. But this is one of the spots where you can try to go for one. So it basically do look like this. That time I actually got a brake boost, so you would jump over the guy, then do a brake boost supposedly there. Well, if you don't want to do any brake boosts at the start of this, the strat is jump over this guy, do a YBY, spin off these things. Regardless if you jump off these guys, it doesn't matter, as long as you land here-ish. Then you can do another YBY or another dash to line yourself up here, and then you dash off those plants, and you get over here. Now, I'm gonna restart the level again, just to show, because there is a strat with this brake boost. You can do it over here, actually, because the ground is more flat, and so it gives you more window, or a better terrain to do a brake boost. So there you go. more or less around over here. And again, I wouldn't advise going for break boost constantly when you do this level, because break boosts are kind of notoriously inconsistent, and going for them in an optimal run, if you really want to save the frames, go for it, but it's kind of luck based. You have to kind of rely on whether or not you'll get any speed. If you get good speed, you'll save time, but if you don't, which is most of the time, then you'll just do like a crappy skid boost like that. Okay, that was not a crappy skid boost. You just end up with like a medium speed break boost kinda, and then you won't get any speed. So it's better to just do the regular movement. So one more time, doing that again. Jump over the guy, YBY, spin, bop, YBY, spin, and then a jump and a spin to get over here. Now comes the fun part, Murphy. So as soon as you have control of Murphy, you're going to press your Murphy button. I press my Murphy button on LT, not any of the other face buttons, because it's just way better for me. It's just way more comfortable, it's way more convenient, and I can pull off strats that I normally would like have to do this weird claw grip, but I can just put it on LT. So what you would normally do here, actually I'm going to restart the level because otherwise the Murphy cycle gets fucked up. Same movement as before, and pay close attention to my inputs. I'm holding right and RT here. Before Rayman even starts moving, you can press LT to activate Murphy. So like, Rayman does his little animation, you can move Murphy instantly, and if you play your cards right, you can jump over like the last fireball that's coming down. So yeah, do whatever you feel like it, block this first path of fireballs, and then if you have enough momentum going into here, you can do that. You can land at the very tippy edge of this, and very quickly do a dash through that stack of free enemies. And that's just a little speed. You don't have to do that, you can kick them instead. In fact, I'm going to show you. Oh, of course not, I'm not going to show you, because this level is really weird checkpointing. So, once again, revising this opening movement. As soon as before Rayman even moves, you can move Murphy. This is how it looks like optimally. See, before I even like land on here, I already pressed LT to move Murphy over. So you can spin those guys. There's just a little tiny speed, but you don't have to do it. You can just kick them instead. That's just the advanced strat. You can YBY this guy, press Murphy to raise that shield. You can either jump over this guy or you can spin through him. I'm actually gonna die so I can show this off. Spin through that guy. You can YBY there, and then here you would like. There's two ways to go about this. You can either do what I did there, or you can do it a different way. And basically, you spin this guy. You can do that, which is basically you want to get up to this platform without grabbing the edge. And what you can do is you can spin the guy, you jump over the red guy that's right here on the left, you hit the cage with your kick, and then before the teensy goes away, you ground pound so that you hit the enemy and get bounced up. Or you can do a different strat, which is just bouncing off the cage directly there. Either one works. I prefer the first one because I don't have to do a roll jump. That second one, you need to do a roll jump to get the necessary height to do directly off the cage. It's like a half-second faster, but it's really not necessary. So yeah, you bounce off the cage, you like spin and move the shield at the same time, more or less, so that as soon as you get over here, the shield's already there, so that you don't get pelted by fireballs. And be careful not to jump too high, either, because you can actually go over your shield and get pelted by fireballs and die that way. So I'm gonna die there one more time to show off this strat. This is the one I use. Spin through the guy, jump with a fireball, kick the cage, there you go, and do that shield strat. Now is coming up one of our many shield boosts in this level. So Murphy has this thing where you can shift these platforms back and forth, and I'm gonna show it to you first. That was a bad one. that's the gist of it. You want to jump off the shield platform right when it like hits the, not the apex, right? But like right there. Right there when it hits when it stops, basically. Right before it stops and you jump, you get a lot of speed. But you have to be careful to not get too much speed. Because as you can see, if you get the top speed that you can possibly get on this first shield, you're gonna get kicked in the face by this guy. And basically have a bad time. So what you want to do is you want to ground pound either in the middle or the right of this shield. And then as soon as you ground pound, you use Murphy. And you want to carry your speed, but also grab that cage. I also need to remind you, this is any percent, we are grabbing cages. So, once more, that's how it normally would look like if the enemy was not in the way. You normally want to go for this one though, but not for that one, because that's the top speed. More or less this. Not top speed, but not incredibly slow either. If you do it too late, as you can see, you don't get any speed. If you do it too early, you like don't catch up with the shield. If you do it just right, you get there. So you do that first one. I'm actually gonna die to get that cage again. So that's how you. This is how you normally do it. I didn't get top speed there, but that's okay. Then you do this other one here. Okay. I think I might have triggered the checkpoint. If I did, it's okay. Yeah, I did. So this one, you can. There's two completely different strats that you can do to get across these next few screens, I guess. One is if you get a top speed shield boost, and the other one is. Oh no, wait. This is the wrong place actually. So I'm an idiot. I'm thinking of a completely different spot in the level. But basically, what you want to do for this one is same thing. Make sure you keep your speed all the way here, and then just kick this stack of enemies right here. Move the shield, and this is your first damage boost. So if you're playing on the PS4 version, you're gonna need to grab a turnip that's right in front of the purple guy and the red guy that you bounced off earlier, if you know what I'm talking about. There's a turnip right in front of the purple guy that gives you a heart. So if you need a backup heart, if you get hit at any earlier point, you can just grab that. So this is our first damage boost. You're going to want to jump more or less around here so that a fireball hits you from below. And then at the same time, you're going to want to cover up the fire with Murphy. I'm going to show you what it looks like, just with no commentary. Oops, I did it too low there. So this is that section. Right, you want to damage boost off this thing, kick up to get the cage, and then as soon as you press like X to kick up, you press Murphy, so that it covers up the thing with the shield. Just one more time. The timing really is not that tricky. It's one of the easier parts of the stage. Not saying a lot. So you do that. There you go. From here, you can jump onto this platform. You can either jump on this guy or kick him. Kicking him is faster because you land on the platform sooner. Do a spin jump here. Press shield when you're above here, because otherwise you'll either get pelted by these fireballs or you'll get too late and you'll actually land on top of the shield and get killed up there. So just be very careful about that one. Yeah, this is a good place to demonstrate it. Right there, more or less. I don't have a specific timing or visual cue for it. You just kind of get a feel for it. Right here, this is not a heart. This is actually an enemy, so don't get confused. There are only two heart turnips in this entire level. The first one and one coming up right now. So what you're gonna do here, what you would want to do there actually is raise it up, raise the shield up as you're on top of it, and then just spin jump off of it. You can do that without stopping like I did there, or you can just do this. Either one works. Obviously this one is a little more optimal because you don't have to stop. Right here is a second turnip, and I highly advise you to get this heart because this end part of the level is really dangerous, and it's very easy to get hit. So here's another shield boost, and this is the big one, right, by the way. You can do this one of two ways. You can do this, jump over the guys, and then just spin through those guys stacked on top of each other, or you can do this shield boost. First, you spin this guy, get the heart, ground pound on the right side of the shield, hold RT, or whatever your run button is, actually. Do a top speed shield boost, roll jump off of there. Oops, I think I might have fucked it up, actually. Yeah, because the checkpoint is set over here. That's not too bad, because I can just do this. There we go. Do a roll jump, you would bounce off that guy. You need to, if you have enough speed, you would actually roll jump under that ring. You would roll jump under that ring, which you could then carry that speed all the way over to, you could get over here, and then you would not even have to spin here, you would just slide down, and you would have to skip this ring and land right over here. And you could jump over this second ring as well, and then you just spin through those guys. It's a very complicated strat. I don't know the best way to show it off, especially since I killed all the enemies. Since bouncing off one of the guys is part of the strat, and that guy's not dead. So, I'm gonna try to... Okay, that's a good alternative. There, that's how that strat is normally supposed to work. So you just do that, as you saw, and then you bounce over here. Now, if you don't do that strat, what you can do is, if you don't feel comfortable with shield boosting, if you don't have the timing right, is you can either go down here normally, or you can just do that that strat that I talked about earlier. Land on the tippy edge here and spin for the guys. Then you just do a series of YBYs, spin for the guys. Move the shields to block these fireballs. Of course, the cycles are off because I have to reset the sequence. And then right here, you move the shield up to block those fireballs. Jump over this ring. Jump over that first one. Then you land on the second one and maybe the third one. And here's where the two strats kind of end. They're the same part after this. So yeah, you can either roll jump here to help with that. Then change the fireballs, jump over that ring, hit this TNT, kick through the air, try to land on this shield, spin jump off it, get that fist, and roll jump off that platform. When you would get the punch, you would do this, hit the guy, change the shield as soon as you're here, pretty much. I'm gonna kill myself because I need that heart, but you would do this. This guy's cycle, that red guy that I just killed, his cycle is actually random, and that's one of the few instances of RNG in this entire game, actually, where you cannot predict where those guys will be. Every single run of this level, the guys will be in a different spot. Like right there, he was like further down than he was before. It also depends on what speed you get to him too. So if he's really high up, you don't need to worry about punching him in the face. If he's low down, your kicks and your punches should be enough to kill him before he gets a fireball off. But yeah, if it looks like he's prepping up a fireball right there, kick twice to be safe. I always kick twice there out of habit, but basically your punch will block one of his fireballs, but he'll still be there. So you'll need to block one of his fireballs and then the second punch to hit him. So that's the kind of general strat. I'll do another run of this level without stopping at the end of this video so you can see what I'm talking about. But after this, you'll basically, you kind of just wing this part every single time you do this, and there's really not a good way to describe this. You can either roll jump off here, or you can simply roll, or not roll, dash, and do a kick there. These guys' cycles again are all random. You have to adjust on the fly to kicking their fireballs. So this is what it looks like. fire like 3 punches there to be safe. This is the part where you normally slow down. Don't be like discouraged because you have to like do baby strats here. Pretty much every single runner, or not every single runner, but at least I can never manage to make it through that part without like slowing down. Very, very rare. Or you can do that. If you manage to land solidly on here, and the guy's cycles are good enough so that you can straight up do this, then go for it. If the guy's blocking your way, he'll probably just kick you in the face and like throw you into the left and into the pit. And you really don't want to die there because it sends you all the way back there. If you're lucky with your punch, you can break this cage before it even like gets over this pillar. So now's the hard part. It's the last part. It's the wind segment. And what you'll do here is basically spin off this platform, hit this guy, full spin jump off of this edge here. You should hit the guy on the top every single time. Then just slow hovering through here. This is the worst part of the entire level, and I hate this strat with a fiery passion. So first off, I'm gonna die to show off what this would be like. I'm gonna try to attempt the strat in full time, not full time, in like real time while stopping. Ooh, okay. So that's basically the gist of it. You just saw right there. Again, spin jump there. You're gonna land on this shield. You're gonna spin. Okay, you're gonna supposedly spin without getting hit. You're gonna want to spin and then press Murphy when you leave the shield. When like Rayman's feet come off it. Kind of like that. There are 3 possible outcomes for this. You can either do that, where you pass under here, don't get hit by any of the guys, because they're like here, here, and here. You like do this, and you don't get hit by any of the guys. You can do it too early, and this happens, and you just get trapped in that pillar of fire. There's nothing you can do, you just die. And other times you just straight up fail, and one of the guys may be able to snipe you with one of these fireballs, and that's the worst feeling you can possibly have. There's 2 different timings for this. You can either spin and press Murphy at the same time, which is this. Oops. Supposedly. I apologize for being bad, but I don't know. I'm not even going to use the excuse that it's like 12:30 a.m. here. You're gonna want to. You can spin and use Murphy at the same time like that. So it's like right there. So your spin and the Murphy, like as you can see, kind of bounces you up, and that, if you're lucky enough, it just gives you barely enough time to float under the shield. Or if you're feeling a bit ballsy, you can spin off the shield. Well, not if you're feeling ballsy. This is the kind of safe strat. You can spin off the shield and only activate Murphy when you're like a half second off the shield. It's kind of weird to explain. As soon as Rayman leaves the shield, you can do Murphy. You have to be careful not to be too late, because otherwise the pillar of fire won't be gone yet. And like that, the physics can sometimes fuck you up. Like that. It can bounce you up into the pillar of fire if you don't want to, like that. So this is probably one of the most finicky strats in the entire game, and every single time you get here, you're pretty much just gonna wing it right there. I suggest spinning and pressing Murphy at the same time. It seems to work better than waiting for Rayman to go off the shield. But sometimes you can fuck it up too. Like, there's not even a really consistent method for this. You just gotta sometimes get a feel for it. And if you don't have a heart, please do not go for this. Because if you die here, as you can see, you go all the way back, and it's one of the most costly deaths in the late game. Well, not in the late game, actually, because of the new routes. This is actually kind of mid-game, or near the mid-game anyway, the first third. So yeah, that's how you kind of do it. You just have to be careful to not fuck anything up and get thrown into the fire, because it's really easy for this completely screw you over, and you have no control over it, kinda. It's just a finicky strat that you have to get a feel for. And sometimes you go for it, sometimes you don't. Only go for this if you have a heart, in my opinion. Do not go for this if you have no hearts, because the possibility of you getting killed is way too high. Because this is already kind of bullet hell. There's 3 red minotaurs, like, shooting fire from 3 independent directions, and then there's this pillar of shit right here. that will kill you if you get caught in it, unless you pull to the left, like, really quickly, instantly, as soon as you see that you got caught in it. So yeah, just, the strat is finicky. If you don't want to go for it, the backup strat, or not the backup strat, the baby method for people who wear diapers is just do that. And it's like a couple seconds slower, but it's a lot safer and less annoying. You will lose a lot less runs if you want to do it that way. Obviously, if you want to save frames, that's the way to go. But if you want to be safe, going over and then under is the best way. Just be careful not to get killed by the guys, because it's just really the worst. They can smack you around really easily. And with this wind section, any projectile that hits you, even if it's from the front, you're gonna get knocked up. Not in that sense, you're gonna get knocked back into the up direction, like vertically. So yeah, either press your Murphy button and X at the same time, or if you don't feel safe with the strat, just go over and under, making sure to dodge all the Minotaurs. And then here you would get that first cage, or that last cage rather, or the first to last, I guess. Here is just shifting the shield, avoiding Minotaurs. You don't have to shift that one, you can just spin jump off of here. There's a strat that I used to go for that I don't go for anymore, where it's like, it's a really useless shield boost here that doesn't save any time. It's just really stupid because this thing is really kind of tiny, the range of this shield. So if you want to, you can do that, but the strat that pretty much everyone goes for is land on the shield and then just spin jump off of it. And now is the final part of this level, where you have to dodge the hand. This is the hand, I don't know what to call it. It's the hand strat, I don't know, we just call it the hand. Basically, there's these two platforms right here. I'm gonna jump on the first one, shift Murphy over to the other one, and when I land on the other one, I'm gonna spin jump off of it, a full spin jump, and then if you do that correctly, you should be fine, and then it's just getting to the end. But here's what happens normally. You get here, this hand zaps you unless you have the shield with Murphy up, but if you spin jump off of this, oh, okay, no, I'm an idiot apparently. The hand still zaps you. Basically, if you get this fast enough, there you go. If you get that fast enough, the hand will never have time to catch up with you. Right here. I'm running to the right, but the hand is not catching me. It should not be able to do that normally. So, spin jump off of this. The hand still throws lightning at you. So what you need to do is jump off this first platform, full spin jump into YBY as soon as you hit the ground. And then here you can just do any movement you want. And here you stall either by ground pounding or by pausing in midair so that the hand's lightning kills that last teensy. And then don't forget this turn up here on the right, and that's it. That's shields up and down. Let's go over that last part one more time with the hand, because this hand can be really annoying if you get caught by it. Once again, spin jump and then a YBY. And then if you do that correctly, which you should, it's just a simple spin jump and a YBY, you should be able to clear that distance to not get zapped by the hand every single time. Oops, I'm an idiot apparently. It does have to be kind of a full-ish spin jump to escape the hand. But yeah, then you just do this movement right here, and then you finish with the level. So that was my 5-1 tutorial. It's horrible, and I apologize deeply for everything that I just made you suffer through. I probably went into needless amounts of detail. This stage is normally only 2 minutes long in any percent, but I've probably been recording for like, what, let me check. Fucking half an hour, so yeah, I apologize for that. I just went way too in depth. So this is what a run the level will normally look like for any sane human being that does not want to sit through all that I just said. Spin for the guys, YBY, shield, YBY, jump off this guy, bounce off the cage, shield, shield boost number 1, be careful not to get too much speed, shield boost number 2, kick those guys, damage boost number 1, kick and Murphy, kick, use the shield, a bunch of YBYs, get killed by the shield and then respawn, just kidding, do that, YBY to get this guy, get the turret, shield boost number 3, full roll jump, bounce off the guy, under the ring, shield, second ring, kick the stack of guys, jump onto this platform, ignore the ring, kill the TNT, land on top of shield, spin jump off, get punch, roll jump, kick the stack of guys, do this, try not to get killed by cycles, YBY, enter win part, try to go for stupid strat, if you don't get it, it's fine. I got stupid strat. Kill this cage while it's on the way left. Keep the shield up, avoid the fire. Spin jump off this shield. Full spin jump, YBY. Spin off that guy. Roll jump off of this. Ground pound to stall the hand. YBY. All the way to the end. Kick cancel that turn up to get behind the TNT and enter the fucking doors. So yeah. That's shields up and down for you. I really appreciate if you watched this all the way through. You probably did not need to, but if you did, nonetheless, thank you. So yeah, that's the first of hopefully not many of my crappy tutorials of Rayman Legends 80% ILs. You probably didn't need that, all that like explanation on the different strats and stuff, because you can probably just copy it from the world record video and be somewhat safe. It'll be slower if you're just learning, obviously, but you don't need to worry too much about visual cues and a bunch of other shit that I bothered to bring up here. So yeah, that's it. For my next videos, I will probably do tutorials on 2 levels in World 4, actually, which is 4-2, the Deadly Lights, and 4-4, Infiltration Station, as well as 3-4, Snakes on a Cake, which is also one of the other hardest levels in the game, in my opinion. So those 3 levels are going to be my future videos for this tutorial series. I am hoping to do a tutorial for every single other level in the game, but that's obviously such a daunting task that I don't know if I'll be able to. Or at least, I don't know if I'll be able to in a decent schedule. It'll definitely take a while because I've got a lot of other things on my plate right now. But yeah, thanks for watching.